Good afternoon, Stitch Roadies. Thank you for stopping by. Yes, it is another stitch day. I know I get many comments, and thank you so much for that, telling me how much this podcast, floss tube, video, whatever you want to call it, brightens your day. But I need for you to understand that you are incredibly important to my well-being also. Lately, as in the last few days, I have been struggling with what kind of world we're leaving our children and our grandchildren. And then I start stitching and I start thinking of ways, including my vote, that I can work to create a better world for my family. And that includes all of you. I am so grateful for your support and that you are out there listening to my jibber jabber. So thank you. You are as important to me as I am to you. I had a nice week. Last week when I went over the mountain, I was able to visit with girlfriends, both quilting, stitching, book groups, reconnect with my community over there. It was beautiful weather. Sisters is a lovely town, although it is growing by leaps and bounds. I'm looking at what that could be. What could that be, that noise? I have no idea. There's a big tree in the way. I have the window open. It's like I am not going to pass up any opportunity for fresh air and to be outside. I brought, you might laugh, but I brought a big bucket. My bestie Robin gave me some lilac cuttings from her yard, and I brought a big bucket of them over here, and I planted them yesterday because the weather, although it called for rain, it didn't rain in my neighborhood. They probably knew that I needed a day of peace and quiet in my own backyard. So I can't even see that truck. I hope that it will just turn your sound up. Or maybe I should just close the window a bit. Oh, there we go. There we go. I took a couple of projects with me. I did finish the Prairie Schooler Santa that had the 3-legged reindeer, but I put 4 legs. I made that specifically for a former neighbor of mine whose husband was the Santa of Sisters. Oh, it was a FedEx. Well, it wasn't to my house. He was the Santa of Sisters, an absolutely joyous man. I mean, he went to Santa school. I mean, he was a real... when my nephews and my oldest grandson were a little younger, he would call them up, or I know I've told you this story before, but it's a lovely, lovely story. My oldest grandson was visiting and staying for the week with us in Sisters, and I just wanted to be like have my grandson look at me and go, "Wow, how cool a grandma is she?" So I just in jibber jabbering with him said, "Well, Santa lives in my neighborhood," because he did, and but during the summer, and then he goes to the North Pole in the winter. And my grandson said, "Oh, can we go to his house?" And I'm like, all of a sudden my brain is like, danger, Will Robinson, danger. And I said, well, it's his time off because it's summer. And he goes, "Please, Nana, please, can we go over and just see?" And so I said, okay. And it's just down the street and around the corner there. And the whole time I was thinking, oh, I hope he's not home. I hope he's not home. I hope he's not home. And I was telling him, well, he might not be home, so don't be disappointed. We'll leave him a little note or something. And I knocked on the front door, and Santa answered the door in his shorts and his Hawaiian shirt, his plaid shirt. And I looked at him and I said, my grandson just wanted to come say hello to Santa. And I'm not kidding you. Without missing a beat, he knelt down eye to eye with my grandson and said, "How have you been, Wyatt?" He's really missed. He's really missed. And so when I was doing that pillow, I knew that because of COVID, his service has been put off, and now it's almost a year later, and he's having a memorial service next month, but I will not be able to attend. So when I was over there, I had made that little pillow because I thought, there's going to be a lot of flowers. What could I give his family that would impart how important he was in my grandchildren's life? And so I made that pillow. I made it into a pillow, and I wrote on the back a little message and brought it over to Mrs. Claus. And we had a lovely time talking and catching up. I also got to see Lori from the Floss Tube Textilist, and she's just so amazing. And she had just come back from the Farm Girl gathering in Iowa, and so she brought some show and tell. I was just drooling with envy, just drooling with envy. I got together with my quilt group and also my book group. So it was a very, very soul-filling, heart. I so needed that because of the following days of the world that we live in. And I'm embracing it. Let me tell you. We camped in a local campground right in town, and so we could walk all around Sisters, and I could stitch. And I'm telling you, G and I, in that part of our lives, were minimalists. To travel in a van, have everything right there, it was just amazing. Just amazing. The campground was pretty full. The whole town was full. But by Monday, it had kind of cleared out. So what did I work on? And what am I going to work on today? I have another compulsive / focus piece that I'm working on. And it is, I believe, my anniversary start, I want to say 2021, but it might have been 2020. The Good Housewife, Ira and Ida. I just love this. And I decided to stitch them together. So they're going to be stitched together like this. But I'm only going to put one vine of flowers between them. And so what I've ended up doing, I'll show you, is this. Now, I didn't think about originally how I was going to lay this out, so I'm going to have to, right here, unpick this little piece right here, because I want that border to go all the way across. But he is done. I got a star, a gold star for him, and now I am starting on her, and then that will be a finish for our anniversary this year. I just love this one. And I cannot say enough how much I love this hoop that Trina from the Cotton Harvest in Canada sent me. I am addicted to this hoop. This is a Morgan hoop. I have a whole drawer full of hoops. Beautiful wood hoops, cheap plastic hoops. None of them work like this one. It's called a locking hoop, and it just holds the fabric as tight or as loose as you want. And I just pop it off every evening when I'm using it. And it has allowed me to stitch on linen better. And by better, I mean that the holes are less wonky for me. And I just love it. I'm thinking that I'm going to have to get more because I just keep moving it around from project to project. The other project that I have been working on has been When the Flowers Blossom. Goes like this, and it goes in that tray. And Janine, now I know that the other one, Ira and Ida, is out of print. But this one Janine has at Acorns and Threads along with the tray. And I know some of you have already done this and already painted the tray, and I'm going to be painting that tray because I, of course, bought the entire kit from Acorns and Threads. And so, and this is being stitched on a 20 count, I think it's a 20 count Ada, and I coffee dyed it to get it a little, it was ivory, it was very white. And so I'm now working on the windows, and that's what I'll be doing today. And I absolutely love these little magnetic thingamajiggers. Remember, I called them thingamajiggers, that Audrey from Stitchy Witch gave me. And it just, I tell you, this whole Morgan hoop is absolutely my favorite, and I have all kinds of and why do I like it? I like it because it's lightweight. The fabric, it doesn't shift because it kind of locks into place, and once you tighten it, it just stays there. I mean, it's really awesome. And then I'll show you after I get them all hooked up. I tended to be, I always had been, like a stitch in hand kind of person. And so when you have a lot of fabric to deal with, you know, stitching in hand just sometimes drives you crazy. But these little, I roll up the fabric and these little things just kind of hold it in place, and I don't have to futz around with it. So when I went over the mountain, I took my Punky Pearl project bag. Oh my gosh, I'll link her. She sells on Instagram, and you can special order. I sent this fabric with her because I wanted my bag made out of this. Now I'm thinking I want a smaller bag because I didn't realize how much I could fit in that. I wanted a smaller bag, maybe with Harry Potter fabric or Star Wars or something. I'm not quite sure yet, but I'm working on developing my theme. While I was gone, I got some mail, and I had ordered this fabric a long time ago, so long ago that I didn't even remember that I ordered it. I don't know what I ordered it for. I don't know why. But I got a message, an email that said, "We have this fabric in that you ordered. Do you still want it?" It had been so long. And they were willing for me to cancel it, but, and it's from Traditional Stitches. And this is a Lugana. There's like 2 pieces in here. Oh, did she give me extra? What the heck? Well, let's see. I ordered 2 pieces. 2 different sizes. I must have ordered it for something, but it's a Lugana, which I like, and it's a 32 count called Haunted by Picture This Plus. Isn't that cool? Of course, I have no clue what I ordered it for, because this was like last year. Yeah, and Traditional Stitches is in Calgary. So fun. So now I have a couple pieces of beautiful, beautiful fabric. When I was perusing Etsy, yeah, pretty soon, okay, I hear you. Pretty soon we're just going to get to the stitching. But I was perusing Etsy, and I found this artist who was out of Oregon. Do I really want to cut this thread? Oh yeah, okay, you can cut it. And I was very mesmerized by her artwork. Margot. Stationery product design. And look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? That is beautiful. And I'll put the link below. But this is her right here. I was just, you know, when you're a creator, and we are all creators, you appreciate creators of different genres. So she, I'll just read you this. Greeting cards are made in the Willamette Valley of Oregon. It features original artwork by Margot Jean of Nomad Moon Magic. The design has been printed with eco-friendly ink on recyclable linen finished paper. The inside of the card has a smooth matte finish for easy writing. May this card inspire you to embrace the magic that resides within your authentic self. Oh. So I'm just going to show you the cards I ordered, and I will link her down below, because I love sending mail, real mail. I love sending real mail. So look at this. Isn't that beautiful? Oh, these ones just blew me away. So beautiful, so beautiful. And I know my friend Audrey, Stitch a Witch 42, she loves this kind of thing because she does all that paper stuff. What a beautiful, I was just so happy to, and I just can't get over this little, it's so pretty. Artists. Well, I think we'll do a little bit of stitching here. Got to stitch my windows. Oh, here's what I can share with you. So when I got together with my friend Janine, who owns Acorns and Threads, I asked her if I could do, which is really funny, I asked her if I could do this thing, and like she would ever tell me no. She is so darn supportive, and she has so much wisdom when it comes to stitching. So let me just tell you that she helped me pick this fabric out. She knows what I like, my limitations, where I'm, and she's encouraging at the same time. So I have grown as a stitcher because of her. I have grown as a stitcher. Otherwise, I'd still be doing the same thing. But she helped me pick out the fabric for this project, which is the, you know, when the flowers blossom. This, I'm waving it around. And it's a 20 count because I think it called for 40 count. And so this Ada was 20 count. I wanted it to fit into the box that I had purchased. And so when I got it home, I was very confused by the directions. And so I called the shop again and talked to one of the gals there, and they said generally you're going to be using 2 strands. So I started doing 2 strands. And I wasn't feeling the love. I wasn't feeling the love for the 2 strands. In terms of that, it seemed almost, what it finally came to me, and some of you that are quilters will remember this, but if you're not a quilter, you won't maybe understand. But there's a technique in quilting called trapunto. And what trapunto is that when you want to add dimension to a piece, like your hand appliquing or your machine quilting, and you want some of the design to be like a relief, like it's puffed up a little bit, you will stuff an extra layer of batting and quilt around it and then cut it away so that it has a dimensional feel to the quilt. Well, that's what I thought was going on with this project, because I was using 20 count with 2 strands, and it was so puffy. It's the only way I could think about it. So I said, I wonder if I can switch back and forth between using 2 threads and 1 thread. Is that done? Can one do that? You know, I had no idea. So when I got together with Janine, I asked her, in any one project, can you go back and forth between using 2 threads and 1 thread? And she said, you know, most people don't, but there's no reason why not. And so I showed her what I was working on, and I said I continued with 2 threads because I did 2 threads around the windows and 2 threads on the bird and the fence, but I'm not feeling the love for it for this whole project. And so can I switch to 1 thread at this point? And she said, I don't see why not. You know, Janine thinks outside the box. That's the thing, is that she thinks outside the box. So there's like no cross-stitch police who are going to issue me a cross-stitch citation, and I won't have to do community stitching because I have broken the rules. So so I switched to 1 thread for the rest of the house. Now, she said I could do 2 threads in another part of the project if I want, and then give dimension there and give, you know, relief there. And so I just want to show you this. So I love how the fence looks and how the frame of the windows, those are all, and the bird, that's all done with 2 strands. But the house and the roof and the grass are all 1 strand. And I like it. I like the different, you know, the different ways that it looks. It doesn't, and it's mine. It's mine. So because of Janine, I have been released from my burden of sticking to the rules, and I don't have to do any community stitching because I got in trouble. Yeah, that's what it kind of like opened a whole new thought process for me, and that's what I love about her, is that she has no judgment. Now, maybe when she goes home, she's like, oh my gosh, you know, but really, you never feel that from her. She is totally 100% supportive. I do have to tell you, this last week when I was on the other side of the mountain, I went to a friend's house, and let me see if I can find the picture. Now, this is a girlfriend who I was in France with, and she and I, this gives you a little history. I don't know if you're going to be able to see this. Oh yeah, maybe. She and I were at the largest vendor mall in the world. I mean, there were 3 of us, Rob and Lori and I. And Lori and I fell in love with the project, and you know which one. If you've been here a while, you know which one I'm talking about. The trees. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. The trees, which I am going to have to move to I'm going to have to move it forward, because after Lori got hers done, she got hers done. And what's really funny is this was in the early days of me cross-stitching. So when I came back, because we had bought the pattern in France, I took it to Janine and I said, I need the fabric as close as possible and the amount of thread that I need. And so I kitted it up for both Lori and I. And yeah, it's beautiful. Well, Lori got hers done. And when I went to her house this last week, it's hanging on the wall. Oh, gosh. Oh no. You can't see it because of the reflection. Well, needless to say, oh well. It's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. And the framing, oh, I think she said she took it to Michael's. It's gorgeous. It's gorgeous. So I'm going to have to get that one going. Oh, I'm just really afraid to let my brain wrap around that project as a compulsive stitch, because it's just one color and I don't want to lose the love. But I think I'm going to have to do something to move that up, because after I saw hers all done, I was just in love again, in love again. Yeah. Well, starting in June, Acorns and Threads is having First Thursday again. I know I probably won't be able to make every one, but I certainly am going to try to make that first one. And that's just a really, well, I better check if you have to sign up. I better check that out. Because, yeah, to make sure I get a chair. Well, so I'm leaving you with this thought that you don't have to follow the letter of the law. You can be a little bit creative, and that's okay. Thank you for hanging out with me and staying and listening to my jibber jabber. I hope that you'll subscribe, and I hope that I'll see you the next time around that our paths will cross. Thank you so much.